Dude.
That's you know, uh, Katie and I were just talking. We were like,
Yeah.
I can't wait to do this just to just to talk to you, Jan. Like, what upsets me is the fact that we have to do this on a podcast just to catch up.
I
We
know,
should be
man.
doing this without having to do any type of podcast or whatever. But I'm happy to do it on a podcast. It's fun, but I just want to. You were the best man at my wedding.
Yeah,
Like
man, I know, I
that is
know.
that is something
It
that
I'm disappointed in myself, I'll tell you that too.
yeah, it's on both of us. It's a 50-50 split. You know,
It's cool, man.
life gets in the way. Work. Having kids. Just doing whatever the hell we're doing, man.
Yeah,
It's
man,
just
it's life.
it's life. It's life, and it's tough when we're not living in the same household. Under the same roof.
Yeah, those days
So,
it's
and
cra
you're 5, 6, 7 hours away from me. So,
Yeah.
I know if you'd be here, it'd be a different story. But
Oh, yeah, no
we
doubt.
still keep in touch. We still do what we can do, and
Yeah, yeah.
it's all good. And that's the thing with you, Jan. Like, no matter how long of time it's been, like it'll just be like yesterday that I saw you. Yeah, we'll have to catch up. We'll have to update each other on our lives. I don't know if you remember this. We were like eating dinner somewhere,
Uh-huh.
and you'd be like, "Hey, let's pretend like we're 5 years in the future and we're just catching up."
Damn,
And
I said that? I can't even
do you remember saying that?
I don't remember saying that, but that's
I,
something I would
I swear
say.
we were at like Denny's. It must have been like Denny's at like 3 a.m. or something like that.
Yeah,
And you'd
yeah.
be like, "Yeah, let's just pretend like." And you just look at me like, "So Jack, how are the kids? How the kids doing?" And it's just like,
Ooh.
who's this guy? Who
Oh
is
my
this guy I
god.
think he
And
is?
now here we are doing exactly that.
Yeah, exactly. Doing that on a podcast,
Yeah, man.
being broadcasted to everybody out there, but it's
Yeah, yeah.
fun.
So I was thinking about doing it live, but I don't think everybody's comfortable with that. And I understand I don't think I got all the kinks worked out. So it's not live, but as soon
Oh,
as
that's fine.
yeah, just letting you know. Just
Yeah,
be,
you know,
you could be more relaxed, anything. But
dude, I'm relaxed already. I was actually I was like, you know what, would make me more relaxed for this is let me take a couple drinks. So had a couple drinks before this, so I'm
Oh,
I'm
for
all
sure.
relaxed.
Hey, I mean, it's funny, bro. Like somebody asked me when I asked them to come on, they're like, "Can I be naked?" And I'm all like, "What?"
Who
And I was all like,
who asked you to be naked?
just,
That's my question.
it was a guy where I expected that from, so it didn't throw me off. And I was just like, "Yo, I want people to be themselves. I want them to like, if they're gonna be who they are, then be who you are." And I was like, as long if it goes below the waist though, I'm gonna have to blur it out because that's that's my rule. But if you want to be who you are, that's all good with me. So yeah, whatever makes people feel comfortable, I'm all for it.
Well, if that's the case, let me
And, but just to let you know, I was recording a little bit when you told that story, so it might jump into that just because like I thought that was really good content, right? That was good conversation right there. So we got the
well,
ball rolling. We
all
got the ball rolling.
all good, man.
All right.
All good.
Um, so let's jump into it, and then we'll catch up a little more after the podcast. But let's just get the episode done. Um,
Yeah,
I'm gonna talk to the camera, and I'm gonna let you introduce yourself. All right.
sure.
All right. Here we go. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to 34 Questions. I'm your host, 34. I'm here with today's guest, one of my college housemates. Roommates seem like we didn't. Well, actually, he was my roommate too. We shared a room. Um, but
We did share a room.
yeah, yeah. So I'll let him introduce himself. Go for it, man.
Yeah, my name is Jack. Uh, Known Jan since 2008. More than happy to come on to 34 questions, answer some questions, just have a good conversation with Jan. I think that's the biggest thing that I've always known about Jan is no matter what time of day, whatever's going on, you're always going to have a good conversation. So when he told me about this, I was more than happy to come on board. Met him in college in at Long Beach State, and my first real roommate in college, and grew to be more than roommates. Craigslist, meeting on Craigslist. Yeah, if you can believe it, and went from Craigslist, what's it called? Misconnections on Craigslist? No, just misconnection, whatever the hell you call it
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Oh man,
to roommates. Jan was my best man at the wedding, so I
thank you for
mean,
that. Thank you
like
for
I said,
that.
more than happy to hop on and talk to Jan and have some fun here.
Right,
Just just have a good time.
right on, Jack. Right on. Definitely appreciate you coming on. We had mentioned in like the prelude to the episode. It's been a long time. It's hard, it's hard for us to always keep in touch, but we do. I feel like at the very least, we talk to each other once a year, or I'm able to
Yeah.
come
Oh
down
yeah.
like a couple every other year or so. But yeah, yeah. Thank you for your time. And thank you for coming on. I know it's hard for some people to be vulnerable and like be recorded when they talk and stuff. So I don't think you're
Yeah.
that kind of guy, and I know.
I, I was gonna say, I think we've done back in the college days, we were doing some other recordings, and there's probably some embarrassing internet stuff out there that we've done before. So, this is nothing at this point.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, so we're gonna start off with some warm up questions. Just to
All right.
get in the flow. So what you currently doing, man? You still at the same job, or you doing something different?
Yeah. Where am I right now, work wise? So I've been at the job for almost 3 years now. Jobs changed a little bit. So I've been working for a startup. I don't know if you'd classify it I guess it's still technically a startup, but for almost 3 years now. Started as kind of like a, you know, you grunt work, reaching out. We work with nonprofits.
Oh
That's the
yeah.
biggest thing we provide. So what we do is we provide technology to nonprofits, and it's a whole thing in itself. For me, I wanted to do something in the world that I felt good about doing. Meaning, at the end of the day, what we're really doing is we're helping nonprofits raise money, accomplish their mission, and do more good in the world, whether it's fighting sex trafficking, helping animals, feeding hungry children, providing educational resources, anything that you can think of that a nonprofit does. What we do is we help them uh, raise more money to accomplish their mission. So I've been with that company for about 3 years. My job's changed in those 3 years. Being in a startup, in that space, my job changes every so often, and you just got to be pretty flexible. So nowadays, I'm kind of like a operations slash IT manager for our sales team. So I don't know if you've heard of like Salesforce, and there's
Oh,
all these different, yeah,
name
running their
drop.
Salesforce, all this different type of technology out there where uh, you know all of my team goes and does their thing, but there's got to be someone behind the scenes that actually knows how to run it and puts some things in place, does some kind of development work behind it, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm the kind of behind the scenes guy that's running helping run this team to get it done.
That's what's up, man. And you said you were a manager.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man,
So
I know they love you as a leader, man. Yeah, you're always good with that. So I know you're doing good work. And it's important to feel like the work you're doing is because you spend like 8 hours doing it, 8 hours more, and like you got to feel good about the purpose and the why you're doing things. So yeah, that's dope to hear, man. Would you say you're living the dream?
mm. Living the dream. That's a tough question. Living the dream of what I thought the dream was, 10, 15 years ago. No. Living the dream of what I'm expecting it to be now, I'd say pretty close to it. Having a job that's allowing me to, provide and help with my family and do all the things that I want to. Um, yeah, that's helping me live the dream. You know, the dream's changed, so it's not like living the dream is different at every point in life. And I would say living the dream to right now is pretty close to it.
I hear you,
Um,
man. I hear you.
yeah,
Dreams definitely do change, man. And I feel you.
yeah. I
Oh,
mean, ask me this like 20 years ago. What do I want to do? I want to be a pro hockey player, and Dad's living the dream. If I was living the dream, I'd be in the NHL right now. But you
yeah.
know, reality sets in, and you set your expectations, and you live the dream that you can, and you know
Yeah, man.
the goals and expectations that I set for myself. Uh, live that dream, and pretty close to it. Pretty close to it. Not necessarily. There's always things you want to improve on and move forward with, and that's the thing that drives me is just being able to move forward. You can't stay still. You can't stay in one place. You got to always be striving for something else, and this the job is allowing me to strive for that next thing. So, and that's the other reason why I've been with this company for almost 3 years is they have that opportunity to let me you know strive for that next thing and hopefully grow, and heck, maybe in a couple of years I'll be some top executive at this
CEO?
company. And not C. I don't want to be CEO. I've seen the CEO side of things.
It's stressful.
It's a little hectic. It's like
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
like to be a VP where it's just like,
Oh,
all right,
okay.
I'll take the VP position, director of something, you
Okay.
know.
I
Um,
I got you.
CEO is just too much damn work. Where it's just, I don't want to make those are some tough decisions. I've seen the decisions that they've had to me. I'm pretty close with my CEO,
Oh,
and
no.
he's had to make some tough decisions where I'm like, I don't know if I could do that. I mean, I have to, but it's not something that's fun.
You know,
Being a CEO is fun on the good stuff, but on the other side of it, it's bad as well. So
it's kind of like being the quarterback of the team, right? You get the blame and
yeah,
you get the props
yeah,
when things
you get
happen,
the
right?
glory or you get the blame. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. Um, for sure. So now that we've warmed up, before we jump into getting the random numbers and whatnot, I've been trying to do this like fun little thing with my guests. I eventually want to make it into a spelling bee episode, and
A spelling bee episode.
yeah, man, between my guests. I don't know if you want to partake. I'm asking you right now. Would you like to try your hand at at a word? And if you get it right, then you qualify for the episode.
What do I qualify for? What's the prize here?
Oh, it'll come up. I'm still like ruminating on it. It might be a hella hungry thing. It might be cash money if I feel generous enough. But
I think that Hella Hungry is worth more than the cash money.
all right, yeah, it's rare. Yeah, that's
I
true.
I love my Hella Hungry stuff. So,
For sure.
well, all right, yeah. Throw me a word.
Okay.
What's
It's gonna be your word's gonna be onomatopoeia.
onomatopoeia? Oh gosh.
These
I
are hard
shoot.
words.
All right. Like onomatopoeia. A
Oh,
Anomonopetia. Oh no, Peta.
ooh, I'll give you one more chance.
Oh shit. Onomatopoeia. I threw a T in there because I was pronouncing onomatopoeia. That's I a Anomo anoma Anomonopea.
I think this one was like crazy hard. After I looked it up, I was like, I thought onomatopoeia might be like a moderate word, but it's
I'm looking up right now.
well, yeah, yeah. Go ahead, look it up. You can tell.
Anomono P. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, I
uh,
know.
I was way off.
Yeah.
Onomatopoi. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
thanks, Jam.
Yeah, my bad.
Great, great way to start this podcast.
Yeah, my apologies. But there'll
That's all
be
right.
there could be a Jeopardy type game later on, and we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Anyways, let's jump into it, man. Um,
All right.
let's get your first number. Your first
Mm,
number.
first number. Debating between three numbers right now. Let's go with 21.
21.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. I mean, like I say, if there's anything that's too personal, too deep, or something you don't want to bring up on camera, feel free to say pass or skip.
Yeah.
21 is what is a memory you feel like you're misremembering?
A memory that I'm misremembering.
Because you know how, like, everyone's remembers things from their point of view. And so, like, is there something where, like, maybe you remember something that didn't go down exactly the way you thought it did? If you were going to ask
Yeah.
somebody, hey, go ahead.
Yeah. Every argument with my wife, because I know I'm right. Uh,
Ooh, okay.
let's see here. A memory that I misremember. That's a tough one because, you know, speaking of my wife and when we met, just it's a happy memory, but it's a happy wait, who was right here. um
Okay, okay.
we met in our political science class, and I'm trying to remember. I think the argument, whenever it stems up, is like, I think she was on my right and she claims I was on her right. So what side was she on for me, and was I on for her?
Hmm.
So where we were sitting at, that's the only thing that I can really think of right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would say couples usually have the whole disagreement of who approached who first, or who was feeling the vibe first. You
No,
guys are.
I could definitely tell you. See, oh, that's a good one, because I could definitely tell you she made the move on me first.
She
I know
agrees.
I was
She agrees
the
with that.
victim. Uh, she's standing up right now. She's looking at me. She's like, "What are you talking about?"
I
Um,
got you.
but again, that's the way I remember it. She made the move on me, which I'm grateful for at this point. I like gracefully accepted the move that she made on, but
I got you.
that's we can agree to disagree on uh, on what happened.
I got you, man. That's normal.
So
I feel like you ask any couple that, they probably would
yeah.
say the same thing. Like, no, the other person was feeling me first. But yeah, I got
But
you.
you know our history, mine and Katie's history. So we were friends for a while, and um, and who made that first move to move from friendship to something more? It was in my memory, it's definitely her, but in her memory, it's definitely me. So it's a memory that will always be debated, and maybe not properly memorized or remembered.
Oh yeah, yeah, no doubt.
So,
All right. What's your next number, bro?
23.
23, Jordan year. Oh, okay. Um, it's kind of different because you got a family right now, or like you got your own family. But if you could bring your family with you, if there was an opportunity to leave Earth with a colony but never be able to come back, you sign up for it?
Mm, so I'll just dive in a little deeper into this question.
Do
So
it.
who am I bringing with me?
Ooh, you, you got 5 people you could bring with you.
Oh, Yeah, if I only could bring 5 people with me, I'm not leaving.
Gotcha.
Um,
Gotcha.
family family means too much to me.
No doubt.
Um, you know, couldn't imagine, I would bring obviously Kate and the baby with me, but,
That last 2 slots though.
uh, who are those other 2 spots? My mom and dad, you know, my sister, I can't even bring my sister because my sister, brother-in-law, and I'd have to bring my nephew as well. So
Yeah.
that's another spot. That's 3. Um, yeah, mm, that's an easy answer. No,
Gotcha.
stay here with the family. Different situation. If all right, let's set up the situation a little bit more.
Okay.
Is there a reason we need to leave Earth? Is it a you need to leave Earth or else something happens? Or hey, there's an exploratory mission, you've been selected, you can select 5 people. Do you want to go?
I'll make it
What's
hard.
the situation?
I'll make it hard for you. Yeah, the Earth's about to end.
All right, well, okay, or it's about to end. Then I'm leaving Earth. Yeah, I want the best future for my family. Easy
Easy answer.
choice there. I'm
Okay.
leaving with Kate, the baby. Um, Now, when we get to this next planet, we can create more spaces, right? I can fill up those other 2 spots.
You could. You could. I guess it would all depend on the circumstances. Um, Let me give you another hypothetical situation. Um,
Love
it's
it.
it's just you. That's the only person you got to be thinking about.
All right.
And it's an exploratory type thing. Would you do it?
That's a tough question
Ooh,
because so what do
okay.
you mean by it's just me? Because I like everything I've done for
Your whole life, man.
the past, yeah, I don't know, 10 years has been with me and Kate. Now
Mm,
everything I'm doing these next, you know, 1,000 years from now is Kate and baby and, any other future baby. So it's tough to say, oh, if I was alone, because like I said, everything I've done up to this point has been with that in mind.
I hear you, man.
So I
Uh,
can't say I would go alone. All right. Let's put it this way. Would I like to go? That'd be fun. I'd love to go explore. In
okay.
reality, would I actually do it? No, because of those other things that are here.
No doubt,
Those
man.
other things way outweigh anything else than exploring and seeing what else is out there.
I think your answer kind of like just speaks to the bond, you and Katie have, where it's like you can't even fathom, that kind of opportunity to not be with her. So that was
Yeah,
that
I
was
mean,
that was dope, man.
yeah,
For sure.
I mean, you're
That's
the
how I
best man. You
took
were
it.
at the wedding. You were at the wedding. You knew what happened.
Yeah, man. Um, let's jump into the next one. Keep it rolling. Keep going.
Keep rolling. Let's go 31.
31. Ooh. If you could talk to your 13-year-old self, what would you say?
13-year-old self. What would I say? Um, Trying to think. Where was I at 13? Eighth grade, John Glenn Middle School
Shout out.
in the desert. Um, Having fun. Enjoy it. Enjoy high school. Enjoy middle school. Enjoy your college years. Um, Believe in yourself.
Hmm,
You got it. You'll figure it out. If you think you're struggling, you'll figure it out. Push yourself harder. That's the thing. I think that's one of the bigger things is, you know, don't give up so easily.
hmm.
So there's some things in life where I'm like, all right, maybe, and it's worked out for me where I haven't maybe fallen through on some goals that I set for myself.
I
And
hear you. Yeah.
it's like, you know, make sure you do everything you can. Don't be afraid. Because if you fail, don't be afraid to fail. That's the other thing. Uh, I think being afraid to do something is worse than failing. if you know what I mean, like
Yeah,
actually trying and doing it and failing, at least you know you tried it and you failed versus not being too afraid to actually do it. So,
I gotcha. Um,
yeah.
what is there like a particular situation or something life experience that you went through that you felt like you could have pushed harder or you know?
Yeah, yeah, schoolwork,
Mm.
you know, um, from anywhere from trying the college that I was trying to get into, to the major that I was trying for, to um, you know, some of the other things that I've tried to do. It's just like sometimes I question, did I really try? Did I give it my all? Did I give it my best, or did I kind of look for an alternate way to accomplish some things?
Yeah.
And I've made those. Sometimes sometimes the other way has benefited me, but there's some other times where I feel like I, didn't give it my all, and I kind of not regret, but just think, hey, what would have happened if I stuck with stuck with something? One
Mhm.
thing that I've wanted to, that I started in my early years in college was like getting my pilot's license. Wanted to become a pilot and do everything. At the time, it was like, do I really want to do it? And maybe I found some excuses not to do it. That's one of those things where I feel like, I didn't necessarily try as hard. Where now looking at my 13-year-old self or telling my 13-year-old, like, go for it, try it. The opportunity's there. Why not? You know,
Yeah.
you can always, yeah,
You can only
it,
what?
it'd, be fun- it'd be fun to, be able to fly now, but, at the same time, it's worked out for me where I'm doing all these other great opportunities, doing all these other great things, being able to have you know travel and find a good job that allows me to travel or would allow me to travel when it's not COVID and everything going on. But
No doubt, man. It's weird. Like it's crazy to me to hear you say that because at the time we were living together, you know, I did look up to you in some aspects. There was, times where I would think that you were doing things the right way. But I think that's just a universal feeling of like, just not. I don't. I guess it's maturity or mindset or whatever it is, but just the feeling of like feeling confident in what you're doing and like you said, just pushing through and not being scared to fail and all those things. But yeah, that was definitely insightful for me to hear. but for sure, man. Anything else you want to add before we move on?
uh nah, I'm good.
For sure.
Yeah,
Just to let you know, you could also ask me questions. I won't speak like as much as I want my guests to speak, but I
yeah,
want this to be a conversation too. So,
yeah,
uh, all right,
yeah, for
man.
sure.
Let's jump into the next one.
Yeah. um so what have I gotten so far? 21, 23, 31. Oh man, let's go with 34.
Oh man, okay. what what words do you need to hear?
What words do I need to hear? um
You're
Yeah,
doing
there's a couple that come to mind,
okay.
especially with what's going on. We got 10 weeks to go till the baby gets here. Um, a lot of chaos going on in terms of trying to get things ready, and every day it's a all right, what's next? And as soon as I feel like I cross something off, another two or three things gets added to the list. So, uh, words that I need to hear would be, it'll be all right. You know, we'll we'll get through it, and that's the thing. It's not we'll get through it, but it's more like, you can do this. Um, we'll make it happen. You know, you'll you'll be supported. We got your back. And all those different words of encouragement because like I said, when those other two or three things get put on the list, it's like,
Stacks
damn,
up,
that
stacks up.
I feel like when I accomplish something, it's like, all right, one thing's done, phew. But then get pushed back even further down. It's like, oh damn, this is gonna and the thing is, I only know it's not gonna get worse. It's gonna get harder, and it's a fact. It's gonna get harder. So
Yeah.
it'll be all right. Yeah.
For sure, man. Well, I'm here to tell you it's gonna be all right. Uh, and that I think you guys are doing a great job. I don't know entirely what your guys' situation is, but from the outside looking in, it looks like you guys are doing fine. I think there's other people out there that might be in harder situations. But yeah, like I know it's all relative and from where your point of view is and how you take things in. Um, but I believe you got a strong support system around you. And if anything else, you got me up here. So
Yeah.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
A couple things you said there was like, is you're absolutely right. There's people that have done the same thing in much worse situations. So that's the thing that keeps me grounded. It's like I feel like I'm lucky to be in the position that I'm at, that Kate and I are at, to be able to you know bring another member of the family into this world where you know we have a roof over our head, family that loves them, uh, you know, people that are willing to sacrifice and do whatever they can to help us out. Um, just people that don't have that,
Yeah,
and those little things, whether it's the, I don't know, the curtains not being the right length, or
mm,
the paint not drying on time, or those little things that might be like, oh, we're being held up. It's like, hey, at the end of the day, that's not going to prevent uh, my family from getting the support and love and everything that they need.
for sure.
Yeah.
And one other thing that tied into this question is, I think as we get older, our accomplishments tend to get bigger, right? Like the next step, the next step, the next step. Inevitably, also comes the lower lows because like once you reach that accomplishment, you feel so good, you feel so like, you get all the good feels that it doesn't last because there's always going to be that next thing, and then so you're going to go down and it might feel a little bit lower because you were just up so high. And it's that wave, and I don't know if you hadn't thought about that, there's something to think about. But yeah. But yeah, it's inevitable.
What do you need to hear, Jan? Let me ask you
Ah,
that.
what do I need to hear? You gonna flip this hard question on me. All right.
Yeah, hell yeah.
uh, Shoot, man. Um, I guess I need to hear that I'm doing a good job. You know, that'd be something that I feel like. I try not to like put myself out there to seek for that affirmation, because I feel like everything is positive self-talk in my head. And then when people tend to tell me those things, I'm quick to just shut it off or like try to keep myself like lower than that. I'll brush it off like, oh no, they're just saying that or whatever. But yeah, I guess it's just part of my growth process to sometimes accept the good things as well, like the positive things, because I guess I'm always concerned about feeling too complacent. I know that's that's not that seems like a surprise, but yeah, man, like that's one thing I never want to really be is like complacent. So even though I need to hear it every once in a while, it's also something that I struggle with accepting. Um, but yeah, that's that's what I would need to hear.
Well, I got to tell you, Jen, you're not doing a good job. You're doing a fantastic, an amazing job. So
Thank you, Jack.
keep it up, man.
Yeah, man,
You're
I'm trying.
you're you. I mean, you're always trying to better yourself, do the next thing, and um, every time I see you do, whether it's Hella Hungry, Zilla,
Villa.
Whatever you got, man. There's always something. I'm like, damn, Jan's always trying to make moves and do a great job, great job at it. So
Right on, man.
keep it up. You're doing a great job.
I appreciate it. Um, yeah, real quick. I mean, the big thing that I tried to work on this year, or like I guess with this whole podcast, is fear of rejection, which has been helping out because like I've reached out to like how you have hella friends on Facebook, hella friends on Instagram or whatever. I've almost reached out to every single person telling them I'm doing this podcast, and and I get the ones that kind of think I'm crazy, or there's some people who don't answer back at all. And in my mind, it's probably being insecure about feeling like, oh, that's just Jan doing another thing.
Yeah,
Um, but I think, like you said, you gotta get familiar with failure, and that's something I feel like I've definitely gotten familiar with the past 10 years, and now it's propelling me. So yeah, let's
good.
move on to the next question.
All right. Oh, next question. Let's see here. Let's go with six.
Six, isn't that your number or no? Uh,
Three's my number. Six is close to it though.
I got you. Uh, I'm curious. What is one of the wildest dreams you can remember?
Wildest dreams. To be honest, I don't really remember my dreams.
That's what I
So
was like.
that's a tough one to answer.
Okay, we
Don't
don't.
really remember my dreams. I'll remember them like the morning of by 10 a.m. Most of it's forgotten. And at this point, no idea. I want to say I had a crazy dream probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago, but I can't remember it for the life of me right now.
I got you. I got you. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you got?
Let's, um, another number. Let's see here. Let's go three then. Three's my number.
Okay, if money and time didn't matter, what would you choose to do?
Money and time didn't matter. What would I choose? Travel,
Travel? See
travel
everywhere?
the world,
Where'd you go?
everywhere. Where would I go?
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, anywhere and everywhere. Uh,
There's not a place that feels like it's calling to you. Anytime you see it in movies or a TV show, you're like, damn, that place looks sick.
you know, want to go to there's like there's so many different places I would want to go, like Thailand. I think
Oh,
Southeast Asia,
snap.
just like Southeast Asia would be a dope place to go.
For sure.
Vietnam, Thailand, um,
All those countries.
move over to Oceania, Australia, New Zealand, Fiji, those areas, go to South America, Southern Cone, spend a little time in Argentina, Chile, Paraguay, Uruguay, Brazil a little bit, anywhere and everywhere. Um, it's a funny thing. I've wanted to go to France, go to Paris,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
know Katie doesn't want to go to Paris. It's like one of her least places that she's wanted to go. But I'd want to go to Paris at least once.
For sure.
Uh, yeah, man, just travel, experience different cultures, eat different food, meet different people that's out there. Just enjoy life and do that.
It's not too late for us to apply for the Amazing Race whenever it comes back.
Hey, man, don't get me started on that.
maybe
I'm
maybe ten,
always down for some amazing race.
maybe another 10 years from now, when your son is about 10 years old and a little more, settled in, we can try
Yeah, we'll go five. We'll go send him over with his grandma and grandpa.
it.
They can take care of him. It's only like a 3 week thing, so we can send him over for 3 weeks.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah,
All right, man. Let's keep it rolling, man. We won't go through
keep
them
it roll,
all. Yeah, keep it rolling.
keep it rolling. Ah, dang. Let's go with 26.
26. I appreciate it.
Welcome.
Are you using your time wisely?
Am I using my time wisely? For the most part.
You feel confident in your time management skills?
For the most part.
For
They
sure.
I'm getting side-eyed from my wife right now. Uh, but I will say, like, especially in the past, like, month or so, absolutely, I'm using my time
Mm,
management skills. You know, I just ran some errands that I was supposed to run tomorrow morning, this evening, before our podcast. So,
yeah.
now I got a whole morning tomorrow freed up that I'm gonna use to do something else. So, heck yeah, I'm using my time wisely. But um, I don't know. I do feel like I tend to work better under pressure, so I end up procrastinating a little bit more than I should. But when I need to do it, I do it. But what I've found out, um, is just to freaking do it when I need to do it. Whatever it is, manage. That's how I manage my time. If it's a task that's going to take me 5 minutes, why am I going to wait an hour to do a 5 minute task? Just do it in those 5 minutes. Get it done. Because otherwise you're just gonna be feeling bad in an hour, like, "Oh, I gotta go," whatever it is, wash the dishes,
Yeah.
do some paperwork, whatever it is, it's gotta get done either way. Why not just do it when you don't wanna do it? That way you can enjoy your time later. So, that's kind of, hit me a little bit more lately, and, I feel like I've been managing my time a little bit more, especially with getting this nursery done. Um,
Mm.
you know, just go and do it. Why am I waiting? Why am I waiting to do something that I gotta do anyways?
Yeah, you can't wait till the baby comes.
Yeah,
Then
that's exactly right. That's exactly right. You know,
Yeah,
yeah, I'll have my hands full with something different at that point.
for sure. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Uh, but yeah, I mean, time is such a like you said, you work well under pressure. I think that's what kicks a lot of people into gear as far as starting to plan things out. A part of time management and using your time wisely is that you got to go plan things and stick to those plans and execute.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yeah. What helps me is just writing it down and visually, like, actually seeing a list of stuff that I need to do, because then it just haunts me. If I see it on my list, I'm like, "Oh, it's still there. I haven't done it yet. I might as well just go do it and check it off, mark it off, do whatever, or else it's gonna live there, and then it takes away the meaning of why it's on it, why you create a list in the first place.
yeah, yeah. I hear
What's the
you.
point of creating a list if you're not gonna mark it off? And it's just like,
Just to look at it and feel.
just to look at it, and then the list just gets bigger, and it's just so unsatisfactory to not be able to erase it, cross it off, or do whatever. So
Yeah, I've made many of lists that that I just ended up throwing away.
you
But yeah,
see, that's the thing. It's so unsatisfactory.
it
Just
is.
do the damn thing. How long is it going to take you to complete that list? Obviously, different lists and different things take different amount of time, but you know, knock one thing out, see what can happen, and if that one thing is such a big thing, make that one big thing into a list in on itself of, you know, sending an email, writing a beat, writing some lyrics, whatever it is, like break write a song into a mini list, and then sooner rather than later, it's getting accomplished, and feel good about yourself for doing it.
Yeah, I don't think I've gotten to that point yet where I'm writing lists out for myself. Um, I guess in a way, like keeping a calendar, that's something new for me that I've been doing recently, is just keeping a calendar, and I guess that's in a way making a list. But yeah, I haven't gotten to the point of where like I physically write things down. Not yet, anyway, but I know I'll get there. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's how it works out for me. Time management is creating something on my calendar and looking at it and being like, okay, this is what I need to be doing at this time. Yeah. Let's move on.
Move on. All right. I got a question for you because I don't
Oh,
know how much time we got left.
it's all good. I'll tell you right now, we got about 20 minutes. Yeah,
All right. I want to get into this one with you.
do it.
Um, when was the last time you talked to Jim?
Oh, you want to do this on the podcast, bro?
Yeah, I'll put you on the spot, man.
You
I'll
know,
put you on the spot because the reason I want to put you on the spot is you guys were such good friends,
yeah, yeah, we were.
and we don't have to get into details or anything, but I just want to I want to make this interesting for us, for the listeners out there.
Okay.
You know, would you make amends with Jem? Let's start with that.
Well, I was gonna save this for the end of the podcast, but I actually talked to him 2 weeks ago. Which
Really?
I did.
All right, all
It
right.
it got to a point, man, where I think I've been wanting to reach out for like maybe a few years now, and I didn't feel like there was a right time, or just so it didn't seem awkward or whatever. But yeah, so a couple weeks ago, as I was reaching out to people for this podcast, I reached out to his cousin, and then she kind of gave me a way to like reach out to him because I kind of lost contact. And yeah, I just told him, I apologize for the way things went down all those years ago. I could have handled it better, and I I was just trying to be aware and just be like, I know this might be a little self-serving. Like, I want to get this apology off my chest because it's weighing me down. Um, but yeah, I think, you know, like I can't speak for him. You'd have to talk to him about how he took that apology. But I think that he accepted it the best way possible. It was just basically like we both understood what went down. We both could have handled better. Kind of left it at that. Uh, you know me though. Like as soon as that happened,
So
oh good.
so for those listeners out there that are wondering, what are we talking about? Jem was another roommate of Jan and I's. Uh,
Keep it
that
succinct though.
basically
Not
he was a good friend of Jan. Jan, after our first year of living together, said, "Yo, I have like a,
a homie to
a
come
friend,
through. Yeah.
homie. He wants to come live with us. He's super dope." And he was a homie. He was a really cool dude. Um, Long story short, Jan and Jem had a falling out, and we had to not necessarily take sides, but it got to the point where we had to, living in the house that we lived in, we had to say, hey, you know, who's going to be living here or not, because we can't go another year with how you guys are acting towards each other,
Yeah.
because that's not how you live in a household,
Yeah.
especially with the vibes that we had it going on in that household, and it wasn't good vibes in there.
Yeah.
So it got to the point where Jan had to,
Oh,
you know,
yeah, yeah.
a-
I mean, we don't need to tell the
what
listeners that. I feel like that's a little too much TMI for the listeners because
TMI. All
that's not
right.
their business,
So,
man. That's not their business. But like,
long story
we had
short,
a falling out.
Jan and Jem had a falling out all these years ago, and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, and I've always had a place in my heart for Jem. He's a cool dude, and
yeah, man.
um, I wish we would have stayed in Gemini. Would have stayed in Gemini. Jem and I would have stayed in contact a little bit more.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I should definitely reach out to him and see how he's doing, and uh, hopefully he's listening, and tell him, and if he's listening, man, hey, let's connect, man. Let's do it. You got to come down and hang out with Kate and I, and see what's going on.
honestly, man, that was probably like the biggest thing I felt guilty about was how it affected, our everyone's relationship. Like between different people, and um, that was, you know, I tried to let him know that I didn't think about how it would affect the not just me and his friendship, but his friendship with everybody else in the house and all that. So yeah, I mean, I think I don't know. I can't speak for him, but I would promote the idea of reaching out to him and saying what's up. Uh, like me being me though, like I feel like came on like too strong afterwards after the apology, and I just tried to jump right into it and be like, "Oh, what you think about the Warriors though?" I did it like right after, bro, and like that's just me being me, and like it wasn't like a long, lengthy conversation or nothing, but I think I don't know if he was even thinking about getting an apology anymore, but I think it just it was something that needed to be done, and I'm glad it happened. So,
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it'd been what,
uh,
almost 2 week, like 9 years,
yeah, yeah, man.
um, about 9 years. So like,
Yeah,
that's plenty of time for you guys to go your separate ways, do your own things, come back together, and have some. It's crazy to think that was like 9 years ago. It's crazy to think that I've known you for what, met in
8,
2008.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it hasn't crossed that threshold yet of like us knowing each other like more than half our lifetimes yet. Not yet. Well, it'll get there.
we'll get there for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's crazier that
But
like, oh, you're good.
I was just saying, yeah, it's crazy that 2008. So 13 years
Mm-hmm.
going on right now. So that's a long time. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say that like it felt like those the 5 years compared to these last 9 years, it it's totally different, man. I felt like those 5 years were way longer. It maybe because I was doing other things, but yeah, these 9 years definitely felt like they went by a lot faster, and I'm just like, damn, man, like it felt like college was.
When did you move out of Long Beach?
Uh, I believe it was November 2013. That's what I kind of
Damn.
remember. Yeah. Yeah, 2013. So not 9 years yet, but it's gonna get there next year. uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, yeah, and just I mean I remember like the people still living there, maybe 2014, 2015, 2016. How long you guys been moved out of the house?
We moved out of the house in June of 2018. So
Yeah,
I that's crazy. Just kind of going into our history a little bit. We moved into Loma House in what, August of 2009.
2009, man.
August 2009. We lived there from August 2009 to, what did I say, June 2018. So almost, you know, 9 years, almost 10 years.
Yeah,
That's a long time in a house.
it
It's a
is.
long time, and you lived there for till what, 2009 to 2013.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
And each of those years, man, each year had like its own flavor,
yeah,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. Like, and even just thinking about it, of the amount of people that lived there with us.
Yep,
Um,
yep.
one thing stayed constant. That was you and me.
Ah.
Um, those are
Yeah.
the constants until you left in 2013.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think you and
But
Katie are more of the constants now.
yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, she's my rock now. So,
Yeah,
but you were my rock before, didn't? Not just kidding.
yeah. We were
I,
I
I think going back to your question of what something do I misremember, who did I meet first? Is you or Katie?
I
I don't
see.
know.
I see.
I don't know. That's one up for debate. Katie, I'm looking at Katie right now. She's saying her.
Because you told me that you were looking for roommates, and I remember you saying you were gonna meet Jan, and I got jealous.
Uh, I don't know if you could hear her, but she said, um, I met her first because I told her about meeting Jan,
Yeah, yeah, I heard
and
that.
she got
I heard
jealous that
that.
Jan was you.
Yeah.
That's Jan was another bitch out there. So
I mean, if he had told me that he was gonna meet this girl Katie, I'd be like, "What? Another roommate?" Yeah. But for sure.
I mean, it all happened around the same time in that fall of 2008. So
Yeah, yeah. And I will support Katie's claim because you guys met in class, and that was way before we were looking for roommates by like November ish.
November, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay, so we met in the late October, and I met you in early November. That's like a span of like 2 or 3 weeks.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
That's funny. For sure, man. Let's get maybe a couple more questions in. What's the
Yeah,
next
sure, for
number?
sure. All right, let's go with 16.
16. Oh, all right. This is a little more like socially relevant, but who is someone that you loved and cared about, but ended up getting canceled because of cancel culture
Who is something I loved
or cared about?
about that ended up getting canceled? Ooh, this is very relevant. I'm gonna twist the question a little bit here.
Go for it.
Um, just because I don't love Gina Carano.
Who's that?
If
Nah, I don't
Gina
know.
Gina you don't know what's going on with Gina Carano?
No, break it down for me.
So, and this is a tough question here because again, I don't know. It kind of folds into a whole nother argument of something that's something that's not tough for me, but it's like, hey, people are allowed to their opinion. So the whole thing, Gina Carano, do you watch The Mandalorian?
I don't, but it's an actor or they're an
It's
actor.
she's an actress in The
Okay,
Mandalorian. She's an actress in The Mandalorian, and she got fired by Lucasfilms for, she got canceled. Cancel culture. She got canceled because she had some opinions of uh, that were very right wing conservative type of opinions.
interesting.
Yeah. So, which first off, yeah, I want to say absolutely. Some of the things she said was, you don't say it, but the other part of it is I haven't necessarily seen the real controversial statements that she had made. So, I'd like to, understand a little bit more of what she said. But my bigger issue with cancel culture right now is the fact that it's so easy if you don't agree with mainstream media to get canceled. And what I mean by that is it almost feels like people aren't allowed to have their own opinion. Like if you don't agree, and don't skew the words where it's saying, "Oh, you have to," um, don't like they, somebody who agrees with, something as bad as, "Oh, Hitler was a good person," whatever. Obviously, hell no, get the fuck out of here. Anybody that's racist, anybody that's anti whatever, get out of here. Obviously, let's cancel them for sure. But people that do end up having their own opinions that kind of go against the grain of whatever, and this goes for both sides of the political spectrum, from being extreme liberal, extreme conservative, whichever way you want to put it. It's gotten to the point now where if you don't agree with who the majority is, that you get canceled. And that's not what that's I just I have a problem with that
I hear you, man.
because you got to be accepting. That's how things move. That's how we're able to move forward. Because if we're all drinking the same Kool-Aid, you know,
Uh,
that's a bad thing. It's that's not how we're gonna bring the best out of people. Um, you know,
I hear you, man.
it's it sucks. It sucks to live in a place where you can't necessarily, you have to be afraid of your own opinions, and you have to be afraid of like, ooh, if I disagree with something that's mainstream right now, I can't say it. And that's to the point um where you can obviously, in Gina Carano's case of what just happened, she got fired
Yeah,
from her gig. And yeah, obviously there's things that they're saying that she said, yeah, that's absolutely terrible. But you know the I, I'm trying to do some research, and it's like, okay, what did she say that was so terrible? And there's nothing there
I
that
got you. That would
that
warrant
kind of
a firing
that
or like,
that yeah, that wouldn't necessarily warrant some things. But again, I don't know. I need to. There's all that I've seen is like, oh, so and so said this, and there wasn't really a an actual link. It's just them saying that she said these things versus actual proof of whatever happened. Like there was this one thing that she said that I don't necessarily agree with, where she said, you know, it's tough to live in a country that, you know, you don't feel safe that your voting where your voting is counted. There's no, I'm trying to think what she said, but it was like, um, where you can't trust the voting system, basically. You
Yeah,
know, there
yeah.
needs to be more clear voting procedures so that way there's no misinformation that's being spread. Now, the way that they related that was the fact that she was spreading voter fraud. When, in my opinion, it's like, okay, I don't, one, I don't believe it. I don't believe there's like a stolen election or anything. That's all bull BS to me.
Yeah.
Like, you know, what happened in the presidential election was fair and square, and what happened. But what I'm trying to get at is the fact that, okay, there are people that do feel like there might be voter fraud and whatever, you know, maybe have some fair and um not in full investigations, but okay, let's, you know, if these people, if it'll make these people more comfortable to at least say, hey, we are looking at what's going on, to make you feel more comfortable, to make you say, hey, your vote is counting, then make them feel comfortable. Why wouldn't, you know, if you felt, if it was the opposite way, you'd want that as well, wouldn't you?
True. No, it's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
So
Uh,
it's it's just tough to have, um again, people who, that's, you know, no matter what the hell's happening, we just have to be respectful of each other's opinions. And I think that's the point I'm trying to make here, is we can't all be drinking the same Kool-Aid and going on like, you know, Hakuna Matata. You know, there's people that are going to disagree, and you have to be accepting of people that are disagreeing, and people that, you know, do disagree and voice their opinions and try to say some things. It shouldn't be a fireable offense. Um, Obviously, to some degree, where, you know, uh, otherwise, you know, nobody's gonna have their own opinion.
I hear you, man. Uh, and I think this topic we could probably talk a lot longer on. You know, I mean, in a nutshell, I feel you. I agree with you. I cancel culture to me, it's getting out of hand a little bit because
Yeah,
I feel like you can get canceled for anything.
yeah,
And you were talking about mainstream media being like the if you're not with it, then they're gonna kick you out. But now it's even happening on the streams, you know, like on the YouTubes and the podcasting. Like if you're if you're not pushing the the agenda, then they're gonna take you out, or
yeah.
they're gonna silence you to the point where you know you can't really reach anybody or you can't have these conversations. Um, I
Yeah,
f-
to be honest, like what I just said, I almost have a fear right now that I'm gonna be canceled.
eh,
Anybody that's listening to me, they're gonna. I feel like anybody that listens to me right now is gonna think that, you know, what the hell is he talking about? And no, that's, I'm not
yeah,
trying to pick either side. That's the thing that I'm trying to make here, is I'm not trying to pick a side, and I'm not trying to say what, you know, Gina Carano did was right at all.
yeah,
I'm just saying, you know, it's what you just said. It's absolutely right. If you don't drink the Kool-Aid and go on with what mainstream media says, you have the absolute, there's a better chance of you getting canceled,
yeah,
and you you know, having people not agree with you and get canceled and be, you know, be out of jobs, be out of opportunities, and all these things, because you've had your own opinions, and opinions are formed from your upbringing of what you think is right, and not even what you think is right. It's just what your culture is around you, and some of the things that you have. And that's the thing about our country, is you're able to formulate those own opinions. And if people are telling you you can't have those opinions, that's something that's not right. you know?
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, like the fact that they kind of promote the two sides, like this is either right, you're either with us or against us type thing.
Yeah.
That's not my jam. Yeah, and whoever's listening, you guys know Jack ain't like that. If you know this guy,
Yeah.
he's about the people more than anything. So
Yeah.
yeah, don't judge this guy. No judgments here. But yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate you being
Anyway,
vulnerable and speaking on your stance.
yeah.
I know it's
All,
yeah.
yeah. All I'm saying is just let's be respectful of each other's opinions, and let's be. We can argue, we can debate, but we can do that respectfully, and we can do that. And people can change. People could change their opinions. If somebody doesn't believe in something, or if they have a different opinion than you, you can talk about it, you can debate it, and who knows, maybe you can change their opinion. And if they don't, then move on, live peacefully. There's no need to riot, and no need to um, do anything drastic and cancel them at
Yeah.
the end of the day. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Um, we'll touch on this topic again in the near future. But
Yeah.
we gotta keep it rolling. We're coming to the
Yeah.
end. We're coming to the end.
All right.
So any last questions you have for me? Just if not, that's all good. You did ask a biggie one in the middle of this, so I mean,
Yeah.
that's you.
Uh, what's next steps for you in life, man? What do you got going on?
Yeah, man. So right now I have a pretty stable job. I'd like to think so. And I think I've gotten to the point of like, I I'm not concerned with trying to change the system or take down the man no more. At every job place I go to, I'm not trying to yeah, change the culture or anything. Cause that's I don't know, man. That's how I was feeling when I was my 20s. Was I come in, I got these fresh ideas. I should try to put these out there. It's gonna be better. But sometimes the machine is so big and there's nothing you can do. Like they know it works and it's not in your hands to change anything. So yeah, I've come to terms with that. Like as much as there's things I can't control in my life, there's things I can't control at work, and that's kind of like my mindset. So I'm more of like in a soldier mentality at my day job. You know, I'm just here to get my job done, here to get my money, and do what I really want to do outside of this. Um, and that being said, the next thing for me, at least this year, is this podcast. I do have like a good amount of people signed up to do it. For like uh maybe I'm hoping things happen and things are gonna get rescheduled. But yeah, I don't feel comfortable talking about how many people I got because it kind of makes me feel like you know I'm bragging, but so I don't want to do that because things can change. But I'm excited. Like all the people who've responded back and even like I told you, I talked to people from even longer than we've talked. People from high school that I haven't seen in forever. I just said, hey man, I'm doing this podcast. It's about this. You down to do it? And there's some people out there like, hell yeah, man, this is dope. Let's do it. And I've had 10 jobs in 10 years. I reached out to all the people I've ever met in 10 jobs, and they've came back to me too. Even reached out to old high school teachers, man. And they're down to do it. So it's it's exciting. It's definitely giving me a lot of juice, and like I said, I just set a calendar. I gotta make sure I just execute, and respect people's times and be there when they agree to be upon it, and learn. This is the sixth episode of this podcast, and I've already learned a lot of things about it. Uh, I've I'm just trying to push through because honestly, man, this is like I asked you if you were living a dream. I feel like I'm living a dream when I do this stuff. So, but I'm trying to continue that, even if it is having a day job and on my off time. I figured out a way, or my time management has gotten better to find a way where I can fit this in, no matter what I'm doing. Yeah, that's like the biggest thing for me is just like what I did, I guess, most recently is really try to focus on the things I enjoy. Like, I wanted to be a rapper, but the biggest thing about being a rapper is self promotion, and I do not enjoy self promotion. And that was like something I needed to. That was a pill I had to swallow for myself and be like, "Yo, man, you're not gonna make it if you can't talk about yourself. Like everybody wants to talk like they're the best." Um, that, that same thing with the hella hungry thing. Like I love being creative. I like creating designs. I don't like doing business though. I'm not money minded. I'm not trying to cut costs so I can make more. That's not really a good sign of a business. So, I had to move on from that as well. Uh, I don't know if you saw those music little videos things I was doing in the beginning of Corona. Um, I
Yeah.
I did enjoy doing that, but it felt weird to be the only person on the screen, the only person talking, and it was like videos of me just dancing to a song. Sure. So I didn't like that either. But this right here, having good conversations, talking to people, reconnecting, and hopefully like just taking care of those connections as well as life goes on. I think that's what's important to me. Um, and I got a couple last questions that's like the tie and theme to everything, and I think what really drives me to do this. It's interesting, man, because like we always lose people, and for me, I was like, what can I do? Like, I can't stop that. Death is always gonna come, but what can I do to make it like some in some way, bring a gift or put a gift into that kind of scenario. And
Hmm.
yeah, doing this, man. Just recording people's thoughts and feelings and you know who they are as a person. Like, and then down the road, God forbid things happen, I can share that with the people that were in their lives or the generations after. I've been telling people, I basically was thinking I wish I knew my ancestors because like I would be able to understand myself better. And since that I didn't get that opportunity, I don't think a lot of people have that opportunity, trying to create that opportunity. So yeah,
Hmm.
that's really what's next for me is just trying this out. And who knows, man? Like I don't know if this is gonna be it for me, but I know it's something I enjoy to do and be doing it until I learn better or you know do something different. But yeah, you know me, man. I'm that's another thing. I think I just got comfortable failing. Like now, like and I don't hold on to that idea. I could have been doing those music videos for a long time, but I just knew instantly, like, yo, man, this isn't good. Just move on from it. So yeah, those things.
I will say I enjoy those. So one of the things I do miss most about you, Jan, is you were like my music guide in college, and for a while there where it was like, all right, what do I need to listen to next? Let's just go step in Jan's room. He got some dope music playing, and all right, I know what I'm listening to for the next while is these several artists, what Jan gives me, these songs that Jan gives me. So when you started doing that
The music
music
channel. Yeah.
music channel, I was like, all right, now I know what I want to listen to. All right, here we go. Let's be listening to it. So that's what it reminded me of. So keep doing what keep doing what you love,
Yeah,
and
man.
keep exploring more music, and keep sharing it with the world.
I mean, I would want to do a music podcast, man. So like what I like about doing this too. This is for me. 34 questions. This is like my own jam, and I'm trying to bring people on and with a specific purpose. But there's also gonna be like I don't know if you saw that sports show that I was doing with the other homies, and I actually want to do a podcast one. But yeah, like I know for like I gave you music, you gave me music as well. Like it was a back and forth, and you had a whole different realm of music. The
Yeah.
indie genre, and I thought that was valuable because we all appreciate just good music in general. So I'm caught up in my hip hop world. It was good to get the input from other genres because I was missing out on a lot of good music too. So yeah, if it ever comes up, I'll let you know, so you could drop some knowledge on me with your music as well.
I'll
uh,
try. I'll try.
no doubt. All right, so we're gonna be wrapping up. got two last questions for you.
All right.
All right, second to last is what is the greatest lesson you've learned thus far?
Greatest lesson I've learned thus far. Um, Damn, that's a tough one. A lot of lessons you've learned.
Yeah,
You know, greatest lesson I've learned is this kind of is kind of not contradict, but what I've been saying in a couple earlier questions, but um, it'll be all right. Is
I got you.
is It'll be all right. That's what like I said, that was one of the questions that you asked me earlier. What do I need to hear? That it's going to be all right. But that's also one of the greatest lessons I've learned is it'll be all right.
You,
Um,
you got to be reminded
you'll
almost every day. Yeah,
Yeah, you'll figure it out. Things could be worse. Um, at the end of the day, you'll get things figured out. You're not just gonna stay there, and you're not gonna let things happen. Things will happen, but even if they happen, we'll figure out what's going to happen after those things. So, um, but at the end of the day, it's as long as you know you're healthy, people are healthy, your loved ones are healthy, and um, we're able to see the sunrise the next morning. It'll be all right.
got you. I got you.
Yeah.
And this last question ties it all together. What would you like your descendants to know about you? Your great, 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 great.
Um, what do I want my great grandkids, great grandkids to?
Know about you, man. To know about, I don't know. I mean, they could be Jack DLR the 10th. I don't.
That's not happening. That's not happening.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Damn, no idea.
Okay, okay. Let me flip it around. What would you want to
All
know?
right.
What would you know? What would you like to know about your ancestors? Then just say that. Like,
What would I want to know about my ancestors?
yeah.
Um, that's a tough one.
It's cool,
I
man.
don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what I want to know about my ancestors. Like, there's so many ways I could go with that question.
Yeah.
What do I want about know about my ancestors? Like, what was it like for them? What were their what were they proud of? You know,
Okay.
I guess that'd be something I want my great grandchildren to know what I accomplished, what I was proud of, what I would want my legacy to be. So,
So
and what that legacy is, it's still TBD.
TBD, TBD.
Yeah, yeah,
At age what, 30? We 30, right?
yeah.
What's one thing you're proud of at age 30?
Mm, and I'm happy.
Nice. There you go, man. Shoot.
Yeah,
Like I would hope my ancestors were happy. So yeah, now you got something that they'll know at least is that you're a happy
yeah,
guy. For sure,
yeah.
man. Well, want to thank you again for coming on. I I'll tell you now, all I hope is that you subscribe and share this with the people that who you think would want to hear this and like, get something valuable from it. And if you have any family members, man, like I would love to do this for people that I barely know. If they're open to talking to a stranger, I'm open to recording something with people. So, uh, like the more I can help leave behind for future generations, the better I'll feel about this thing. Yeah, let's uh
All right,
let's
man.
let's do this again, part two. I'm gonna
Dude,
stop.
I'm down for part two whenever you're ready.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Hold on real quick though.